Hello, comic fans. It's all great. No, it's actually Jordan by Brown from Ilstrips, and I thought it would be fun to do a little video on a stack of comics I bought recently from mycomicshop.com, and just to go through some of the stuff I picked up and maybe just give a little bit of context around why I pick up some of the books I do. So I might start with some of the bigger format stuff. So I got 2 issues of the Alex Sinner series put out by Fantagraphics a couple of years ago. This is number 2 by Carlos Sampaio and Jose Munoz, the writer-artist duo from Argentina, who both, well, Munoz studied under Hugo Pratt and Alberto Brescia in Argentina before moving to Spain and Italy, where he joined up with Sampaio to do kind of this crime noir stuff. But these are kind of nice because they just they collect like one story rather than the big chunky volumes from IDW. And yeah, I just thought I'd maybe flip through some of this. I just really like the black and white art throughout. This seems maybe, I don't know, earlier than some of their later stuff. It just seems more kind of polished, but still all these great character designs. Kind of bizarre proportioned faces sometimes, less so in these I think, but they go on to be pretty kind of grotesque sometimes in the designs Munoz is doing. The kind of interesting thing about these guys is they never lived in New York, and these stories are all very, you know, it's a New York setting, and it doesn't really miss a beat in that regard. And you can obviously see the influence on the likes of like Frank Miller and Eduardo Risso from 100 Bullets. So just kind of gonna have a little flick through. Yeah, well, he's just really good on all these kind of like wet black and white textures as well. You can see like wet mud at a graveyard, and you can really see the Frank Miller. I don't know what this is. This seems to be some kind of backup by, I'm gonna say, a different artist, and they seem to just be using like, yeah, black and white and then red, a little bit of red on the eyes there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, they're kind of just a nice size. There's the red there at the end for the blood. And then I got number 4 as well, which is called Viet Blues, and I think it's like, I haven't read this yet, but I think it follows a Vietnam vet of some sort. I've seen this stuff in the Charlie magazines. These are familiar faces, and actually even here you can see a little bit more of the abstraction of the kind of faces Munoz does. It's really nice stuff though. Really great panels. A lot of life and a lot of attention to detail with all these just great character designs. I think I'd like, at one point I'd love to do a black and white comic, something like this. Maybe set New York, but New York setting is always a little intimidating because of all the buildings and cars and whatnot you have to go to do. This is pretty great. I like his just little, they're almost like square brush shapes, square brush heads that he's just laying down for foliage, or sorry, I'm looking at this saying foliage, for drapery and folds. But yeah, just really nice to flip through. This kind of stuff where he's creating the planes on the face with just big bold brush lines. It's really nicely done. He makes it look easy. It's not. It's really nice stuff. this is kind of what I was saying about these grotesque characters he's able to create. Just these wrinkles and big brush strokes. Like this fella here. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading these actually, because I've read a couple of the stories from the bigger books, but not all of them. So there you have it. And then actually this on the back is something I've wanted to track down before. Just looks really nice. Some kind of jazzy graphic novel. Then I picked up an issue of Heavy Metal from July 1979, and I picked up this for a particular reason, which we'll come to, but I'm sure there's lots of other good stuff in here, because there always is within the pages of Heavy Metal. Some Corbin. I've never seen this before. There's always so much little Corbin short stories. You've never quite tracked them all down, but this is pretty cool. There's an Aladdin genie situation going on. Nice color. There's a pretty cool doubles page spread. Magic carpet flying through some sort of cloud city. Really nice. A little bit of airtight garage. Actually, this sequence was pretty important for me during making Cosmic Slop 2. There's a good bit of reference used from the scene for the scene in the apartment with Samo and Humpty. Not much of it in here though. This looks nice too. Some nice stipple going on there. I don't know who this is. Fisher. Oh yeah, and this is why I picked this up. It has this Mike Hinge story, and I like the kind of 60s psychedelic kind of pop art, but this actually kind of looks a little muddied out or something. Colors could be like more vibrant. Like the stuff of like Guy Pilar on the Pravda or Jodel stuff, but this kind of almost looks like a bit of Steranko as well or something. From like Outlander or one of those. It's pretty cool stuff though. I'd also like to do some kind of crazy pop art comic at some point with all these vibrant colors. I guess he uses like dyes or something to paint those. But I don't know yet, it's just a little dark or something. Nice art though, I like this. It's kind of robotic cocktail barman. Bon Baudet. The Young Gnome. Chantal Montelier. This kind of looks like Jacques Tardy or something, but Not quite making the mark. Got the little eyes. There's quite a bit of stuff in here. Good range. Attila the Frog. Some busty frog lady. Some nice whale art. Cool textures. That's pretty cool. Collage art. I think this is Alias, who's obviously got a bit of a Mobius influence as well, but doing his own thing. I think I have one of his sci-fi stories in like a French tome. Alias, 1978. Nice. Yeah, some Kaza on the back. And then I picked up this issue of Concrete by Paul Chadwick, 1990, just because there's a Mobius story in here that I wanted to check out, which I think is collected in Adina. But with them, this is some of the Paul Chadwick stuff first. It's pretty cool. Some cool feathering on the foot. The brush. Yeah, so this is one of these Stel and Atan stories, but I think it's maybe got some kind of different color treatment going on to the collected Dark Horse book. The skies and stuff look different. It's like really nice color gradient in the skies. And actually, yeah, this story has been an influence on Cosmic Slop 3 for kind of a temple scene I have going on with the Orcon monks. They're bringing all their stash back to their vinyl temples for a celebration. All this kind of stuff is a big inspiration. Such good color though. Like, yeah, this looks different to the Dark Horse one. It's kind of like watercolor marks and stuff on these pillars. I don't know if they're in the later version. Really nice. Kind of makes me want to go back now and change some of the skies I've done for issue 3. Because these are putting me to shame. Such great drawing. Yeah, so that's why I wanted that one anyway. Then a little bit of Fantastic Four and Spider-Man by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson. I think, or maybe Janson's not on this one. Embellisher above. Why I check. I saw this, I think on the Kayfabe channel. Miller's iconic vertical panels. Yeah, it's always cool to see Frank Miller doing characters like the Fantastic Four that he wouldn't usually be doing. All these kind of like gargoyles and rooftops, creating these this depth. And then there's a lot of this kind of like weird color treatment going on with no holding lines to create these sort of I guess cosmic effects. Mr. Fantastic. Such a crazy character design. Yeah, this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Kind of has a bit of a John Romita Jr. vibe to it. It's great. Some kind of like, I don't know, like a crayon or a pencil or something for this flashback. It's nice. It's more of this stuff. This is kind of weird. I don't know if it's like meant to be less bright or if it's just kind of rubbed off from the other page. It's kind of long as well. You get some sort of storm back up. Which is always nice too. I hope this is bright enough. I've never done this before. Let me check my side lamp just to see if this will improve things. Maybe that's too bright, I don't know. But this was a comic I saw on, I think, God Damn Log's page. He always shows off pretty interesting stuff. Dead Man Walking, Boneyard Press. Hope it's not like too glary with the light. Should be fine. And this is pretty cool looking. Kind of interesting textures and black and white art. It's like weird little white marks on the drapery. That's maybe not working too well there, but getting ready for her aerobics class. And I actually kind of thought this was like a Yakuza comic or something at first, but I think it's set in Burbank. Cool cars. Some limousine interior shots. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this is why I kind of thought it had like a, oh, look at this. I don't know, like a bit of a Yakuza vibe. This is so simple but so effective. Cool hairstyles. Yeah, this is nice. Crashing through the windows. Cool kind of water textures. Lots of crowd scenes. Can't remember who drew that. Guy Burwell, artist and cover. Nice. Lois Lane. The reason I picked this up was I saw Jared Cody Wolf share it a while ago, and he said it was like one of his first comics. And I like the look of it just because it has a lot of like subway art inside of it, and on the cover obviously. And there's a subway, like a flying subway in Cosmic Slop called the Iron Horse. And subways are pretty tricky to draw, especially all the undercarriage stuff. So if I ever see subways in comics, I'd like to take a look and maybe, you know, use them as a reference or something at some point, because it's not easy. Maybe this is too much. I'm not sure. Leave it off for now. So yeah, I wanted to have a look inside anyway. I think Jared might have used it for used this cover as reference for an EP cover that he just did for Mighty Theodore. I think I recognize her from that. But yeah, so you've got some subway stuff. I think it's my first Lois Lane comic though. And this is cool. Just to see how other artists are showing a subway in motion. Just these little speed lines coming off the windows and the side. My one is flying through space, so you don't need, mine's off the tracks, I should say, really. So it's a different kind of beast in a way, but. And this is pretty cool because, yeah, you can see it literally flying through the sky. Here we go. And it's kind of fitting because the story I'm doing with it at the moment has a bunch of kaiju monsters. That's cool. The eyes looking through the windows, ripping the roof off. I think this is probably pretty old too. Where's it from? Yeah, 1974. It's cool stuff. Definitely gonna swipe that train on the front for an illustration at some point. Dead World issue 1, which is a zombie comic. And I just thought all the mark making and the textures in this were really interesting looking. Art by Vincent Locke. And I think I have a couple other issues of this, but I didn't have issue 1, so I thought it would be a good one to read as well. There's a lot of mark making going on these pages. These are zombies. Luke Skywalker. Actually, I had a guy in my class who looked like that. See his eyes like popping out, breaking the panel border. That's kind of cool. Weird looking, but cool. This is kind of nice, just these little blobby black marks to make up eye holes, sockets. Well, that stuff's always kind of difficult. And nice little silhouettes. And these like tiny little scratchy figures, but there's a lot of motion in them. I suppose he's using like kind of a pencil there or something, like charcoal even. Swinging nightsticks. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. Horror in the Dark, one of Richard Corbin's Fantacore Press titles. Yeah, maybe just a little bit more light. And I kind of bought this just on for the cover almost, because it's this really creepy spider, giant spider creature, and then these like hanging bodies. Even his piece is like caught up in webs. But just those like black, dead black eyes staring at you. Pretty creepy. And then I think it's just Corbin's art throughout. Tea time with a bunch of severed heads. And he just has such like range with his treatment of just whether it be color or mark making. I always like his little small organic marks. They're actually really hard to pull off. He makes it look easy. This kind of stuff on the brow and shit like that. This kind of stuff's great as well. It almost looks like he's like inversed this. I don't think he has. It's pretty cool. And he's always so inventive with just creature design, titty design. He seems to have married the two things here. He's also so good at just those big kind of soft, fat characters. This is cool with the shadow of the blade going into the chest. And this is pretty cool too. This like some sort of stone amulet or something. All the different eyes reflecting out of it. It's really nice. I'd like to read that one. That seems cool. And then this is a story and art by Conrad. Looks pretty nice as well. Using all these weird screen tones for different textures. It's pretty like pretty full on accomplished drawing. These faces, like, they look like they're all directly copied from models or something. That's cool.